Heron collects some ore, but was only able to earn very little of it. He returned to his mother, Electra. They hear noises and sees Alexia and her men. They're looking for a demon. They see an old man who had injured his leg, and Heron helps him out. He goes off to take some water to clean the wound, and there he spots a dead woman in the fountain, and right behind him was a demon. When all odds turn against him, Alexia got there driving her spear through the demon. But still the demon manages to escape. But later she finds him disguised as a human having the same wound she inflicted upon the demon. She gathers the town people, warning them about an army of demons marching towards them. She burns the man, revealing the true nature of the demon. Now, the old man tells Heron about the war with the giants. He tells him about how the gods defeated the titans, but as the last titan fell, he swore a curse on the gods that when his blood touched the sea, the giants were born. Ever since, the war between the giants and gods continued, as neither could defeat the other. One day, Zeus convinced two giants to take up arms with them, and a final battle against the giants with the help from the two giants, the gods defeated the rest. Then gather their souls where the giants' remains are cast into the ocean. Ages pass, and one day a giant body is cast ashore. A man finds it, and upon touching it, is poisoned by evil. Eventually, other men join, and they eat the giant flesh, turning into demons. Now Alexia asked Heron to join her, fight against demons and protect the town, but he has no such desire, as they had forsaken him and his mother a long time ago, and now he wants to leave. But his mother tells him they can't and tries to tell him who his real father is. But at that moment, people from the other town wanting to test if she's a demon. Heron fights them, but as they overwhelm him, Electra chose to burn herself, proving that she isn't a demon. The old man tells him they need to prepare, that he had to climb the mountain, and then he'll find a rose bush, and underneath it there is an adamantine ore, from which he will make him a sword like no other. Heron starts climbing the mountain, and Ares shows up in front of Alias, revealing that he was Zeus disguised as an old man. Heron dreams seems to be more than just dreams. He witnesses his own birth, but things go mad when it's revealed that his mum, Electra, happens to be queen, isn't exactly faithful to the king, Periander. This sets the stage for a whole lot of drama. This majestic eagle swoops in, hinting some divine intervention. It's all very surreal and mysterious, leaving Heron feeling disoriented when he wakes up atop the mountain. Now, searching for a special rose bush, presumably for some important reason, Heron's skeptical about the ore they find, but Alias insists it's significant, testing a deeper connection between Heron's dreams and their reality. Alias drops hints about powerful entities influencing dreams, setting the stage for some epic revelations down the line. Later, Heron confides in his mum about the dream, expecting her to reassure him that it's just a dream. Instead, she drops a bombshell. Turns out she caught the eye of Zeus, the god of thunder and sky, and things got complicated real fast. Zeus saves her from Periander's wrath, but it's clear that their family dynamic is anything but ordinary. As his mom spills more secrets about gods meddling in mortal affairs, it becomes increasingly clear that Heron's life being a pawn in a much bigger game. His uncle's betrayal, his brother's tragic fate, it's all part of a larger scheme orchestrated by jealous gods. And when he finds that Alias is actually Zeus, his father, is left reeling from the revelation that the most powerful being in the universe has been guiding him all along. Amidst the divine drama, there's Alexia, another key player in the story, grappling with her own struggle against demonic forces. Her encounter with demons and the violent aftermath only adds to the tension building in the narrative. But to Heron, who's feeling betrayed and delusioned by Zeus, throws away the sword that Zeus has made for him. But before Heron can fully process his emotion, danger rears its head in the form of a three-headed wolf, forcing him to flee with Alexia. In a grand colosseum where Apollo battled against Ares and Hermes, but Ares is suddenly struck by a bolt of lightning from Zeus. He confronts Ares about his betrayal. Hera, Zeus' wife and queen of the gods, appears, revealing that she was already aware of his affair with Electra. In a tense exchange, Hera questions Zeus about his feeling, to which he admits to loving not only her, but also Electra. Enraged and vengeful, Hera vows to kill her. Meanwhile, Heron finds himself in a desperate struggle against a three-headed werewolf alongside Alexia. Despite their efforts, they're soon surrounded by demons, prompting Alexia to suggest evacuating the city of Polis to safety. As she departs, Heron resolves to find his mother Electra. Amidst the chaos, that the demon king, Seraphim, emerges wielding a majestic spear and targeting Heron. The villagers attempted to flee. They find themselves cornered by Seraphim, who demands the whereabouts of Alexia. In a moment of desperation, Seraphim confronts Electra, demanding information about Alexia's whereabouts. Electra looks at the sky, hoping for Zeus' intervention, but finds no aid forthcoming. Heron arrives to defend his mother, but is swiftly overwhelmed by Seraphim's strength despite his efforts. Tragically, Seraphim ultimately delivers a fatal blow, killing Electra in front of Heron's eyes, sending him into a state of despair. Zeus felt the pain of Electra's death, while Hera watches with a sinister smile, believing Zeus was mistaken about Heron's true nature as he shares his mother's blood. Through a dark and mysterious forest, Alexia is cautiously wandering about the trees, feeling the weight of danger looming around her. Suddenly, she comes across a chilling sight. Bodies strewn across the forest floor, a grim reminder of the harshness of the world. But the real shock comes when she stumbles upon Zeus, cradling the lifeless body of Electra. Zeus tells that Heron has been snatched up and taken captive. Electra's soul embarks on a journey to the land of the dead. There, she sees Soul stuck in limbo, unable to cross over. Before she bids farewell, Electra has one last conversation with Heron, reassuring him that there's peace and happiness waiting for him beyond death. Heron caught up in a whole other mess, while the demon king Seraphim is hot on Alexia's trial. When he finally catches her, turns out it's actually Hera pulling the strings. She's there to make a deal with Seraphim. She reveals his tragic past. She blames Zeus for the chaos and urges to focus his wrath on the true culprit behind his suffering. The stakes are higher than ever as Heron finds himself enslaved by demons and taken aboard their galleys. It's a grim beginning to what feels like the onset of war. Meanwhile, Alexia, ever resilient, seeks counsel from her old friend Chiron, the king of the forest. She is desperate for guidance regarding the mysterious map she possesses, which Chiron reveals to be a star map linked to a constellation, leading her to the remains of the giants. However, their meeting takes a treacherous turn with Seraphim, accompanied by demons, arriving unexpectedly. In a shocking betrayal, Chiron sells out Alexia in exchange for the safety of his people, forcing her into a desperate struggle for survival. Hera manipulates him into a sinister mission to retrieve a powerful sword and eliminate Heron, who poses a threat to her plans. Seraphim's internal turmoil grows as he grapples with the revelation of his true parentage, his newfound knowledge adding an unpredictable edge to his character. Meanwhile, Heron plots his escape aboard the slave ship, rallying a few brave souls to his cause. In a daring bid for freedom, they rise up against the captors. Amidst the chaos, Zeus is altered to Hera's collaboration with Seraphim, a revelation that further fuels the flames of conflict. As Seraphim and Heron stand poised for a showdown, Zeus, unleashing his mighty powers, separates the two and inadvertently triggering an all-out war. Hera expresses her anger at Seraphim for trying to defy her. Despite Zeus entering the fray, Hera remains steadfast in her plans, urging to kill Zeus and retrieve the cauldron of darkness. Now Heron grapples with conflicting emotion as he rejects Zeus' offer of help, determined to confront Seraphim all by himself. However, Zeus intervenes with a novel solution, summoning a majestic bird to transport Heron to Olympus. Upon arriving amongst the gods, Heron faces a mixed reception, with some welcoming him while others deride him as a bastard. Hera's fury is palpable, but Zeus shifts the blame into himself, admitting his wrongs and seeking forgiveness. However, Hera's condition for reconciliation, Heron's head proves to sleep for Zeus to accept. In the midst of training sections in a colosseum, Heron grapples with his inner demons, struggling to master his anger and find his true strength. As Zeus reveals the truth about Seraphim's identity as his half-brother, Heron begins to understand the complex webs of family ties that bind themselves. Meanwhile, Alexia, Avios, and Colphi embark on a precious journey through the fields of the dead. Despite his doubts and uncertainties, Heron embraces the call to action, driven by a sense of duty and determination to aid his comrades in their quest. As Heron sets out his journey, Zeus cautions him of his readiness, but Heron remains resolute, fueled by the beliefs in his own capacity to make a difference. Seraphim caught Zeus slipping and straight up cut his head off. Hera was like, damn, how'd it feel to kill a god? But turns out it was just a whack dream. Zeus tells him that Hera has been lying to him, filling his head with crap. He showed Seraphim all the time he had his back, all the time he had helped him. Then he told him the truth, that Hera was the one responsible for his mom's death. Now Zeus gave him a coin and said, that's where he will find his revenge. Meanwhile, Alexia and the squad rolled up to the fields of the dead. Chiron said they gotta move quick and not look back. But Alexia told him to go back, that his people needed him, so they pushed through the kind of twisted illusions which tries to mess with their mind. Seraphim found his shady uncle, Acrisius, chilling in cave. Jude admitted to seizing an opportunity to get his hand dirty. When Seraphim said he could never kill a kid, his uncle called him soft, and so he cut him up piece by piece, quenching his thirst for vengeance. Alexia's crew kept going deep underground to find and burn the giant remains, so that the demons will be vanquished. But the corpse was nowhere to be found. Seraphim rolled up his army and has moved the remains. He tried to turn Heron against the gods to avenge their mum, but Heron wasn't having it. Though, and decided to stand against him and escape the dungeon as things get out of hand. Seraphim went for his cauldron, but its guardian put up a fight. But since he had the sword which Zeus had made for Heron, He was able to get through the defenses and get the cauldron. Now when Hera gets her hand on the cauldron, she removes the seal, bring back the giants back to life. Then she played to be Hermes and straight up shanked Zeus. The giants emerged as Zeus bled out. The giants walked through the sea, wanting revenge against the gods. One of the giants tried to attack Hera, but she used the cauldron, sucking its soul back inside. Now the giants get the idea that she controls them for the moment. Hera, in a desperate bid to gain the upper hand, struck a dangerous deal with the giants, offering them the chance to reclaim the sea in exchange for their aid in defeating Zeus. Zeus, wounded but heals himself, rallies his forces for their impending battle. A thunderous clash of armies, Hera, driven by sense of redemption and duty, steps forward to confront the looming threat. As the giants breach Olympus, Hera goes on to retrieve the cauldron, soaring through the skies fraught with danger. Meanwhile, Zeus endeavors to reason with Hera, yet their heart remains hardened against his pleas and continues to fight him. When the giants struck her down, Hera teeters on the brink of death. He fights to protect her, defying the giant's onslaught, but even him got caught by the giant and dies. Witnessing his father die, Hera taps into the depths of his anger. But in a pivotal moment of clarity, Hera, embracing calmness in the face of fury, with tears in his eyes, he confronts Seraphim, asserting his defiance and vanquishing his foe with a surge of electrifying power. With the cauldron in his grasp, Hera seals it, bringing an end to the war. In the aftermath, he awakens in Olympus, bruised but victorious. Meanwhile, Seraphim finds himself in the realm of the dead, a pawn once more in the game of gods and mortals, his fate sealed by the hands of Hades himself.